Welcome to the Fishing Report with Big Daddy. I'm Big Daddy, Carl Batchel, photojournalist here at WKYC. And this is our second show that we're streaming. Here we go. Now, we're going to do reports on Lake Erie off Cleveland, Berlin Lake down at the junction of Mahoning, Stark, and Portage counties, Nimisilla, which is in Summit County, and we're also going to talk about the Medina Parks district and fishing opportunities there. So a little bit of everything this week. Now, last week I was talking about trolling Lake Erie and used some lingo that people may not know what I was talking about. I was talking about planer boards, and producer Chris is going to pop up a picture of a planer board. There's one right there. That is an offshore planer board, goes on the left side of the boat, and you have to be facing forward and use that on the left side. They also make ones that go on the right side, so you need at least two. There's a walleye board from Churches, different setup, still clips to the line. It has a little spring-loaded slit in the back that you clip the line in, and what you need to do with these, you need to put your name and phone number on them, because sometimes you catch fish that are so big they will shake the board off. And if the board floats away, another angler finds it or washes up on shore somewhere, they can call you and return your board, because everybody knows that an angler that finds a planer board floating in Lake Erie with a phone number on it will return it to its owner, because we're all good people, right? Right. Anyway. Let's get to the reports. First, let's talk Cleveland. Lake Erie off Cleveland. Here we go. The fish are biting. I was looking off the back deck here at WKYC. I saw 7 boats out there on a Tuesday. So the fish are there. First report. I've done a lot of fishing. I wish I was out there. It's so hard looking out the back of Channel 3. But if the guys out there, they're trolling right now. There's some videos from last year. We were trolling bandits. You can see the city in the background. Those are fish on the fish finder. And there's me in the middle. When we all get on the boat together, all my buddies, the lake level goes up 2 feet. But that's why they call me Big Daddy. Really good opportunities to catch walleye out there. This week, our report comes from local angler Gene Vondrak. And he was fishing off Cleveland. He said there's good fishing off Seatown. That's what everybody calls it. He took his buddies Dan C. and Joe K. out. And I think we have a picture of Dan and Joe standing by their limit. And there it is. Nice fish, good size, quality fish. He said the fish were high in the water column early, then moved deeper after about 10 a.m. Once that sun gets up, the walleye go deeper. They did get their 18 fish limit. The limit is 6 per person. Really good size. And I don't know if you could go through a couple more pictures. There's a nice walleye. You can see the skyline of the forest city in the background. That's what Cleveland's called, the forest city. But look at that cooler. That's a good sight to have, because walleye's about $28 a pound right now. Actually, it's not. It's about $18, but that's a lot of good eating right there. And they also got a bonus smallmouth bass. And there's that. Smallies are hitting, too. They'll hit those lures while you're trolling. And he said it wasn't real crowded, about 3 other boats. They were 35 feet back on a Smithwick P10. And we have a picture of those. And these are jerk baits. That's what they call them, because you jerk them through the water if you're casting them. They troll really well. The P10s, they troll down 8 to 10 feet. That's why they call them a P10. And as you can see, they come in a myriad of colors, and there are a lot of guys that paint them in custom colors. There's, let's see, there's Starvin' Marvin in there, 24 karat gold, perch, Fruit Loops, Seatown Crushers in there, Secret Squirrel. Some of the names of these things are really cool. These guys come up with these names. Thank you, Gene. We appreciate it. Our next report I fished with this guy several times. His name is Captain Andy Durda with Monkey Sea 3.0 Charters, and he's been fishing off of Wildwood, which is over by Euclid. We went out last year. This is all last year video. We got to get out this year. But there I am, shaking my head. That is Joe Castaway Coolis, a really good friend of mine. We do a radio show together on the weekend, and he's still alive, people. Whenever I mention his name, everybody, the first thing they say is he still alive? And we have a lot of fun, Joe and I. He's a great guy and heck of a fisherman. He's an inventor and invented his own divers and everything. I'm going to have him on this show one day. You'll see. But that's Captain Andy's boat. It's a smaller boat. He takes usually 2 people out at a time. He's a real good captain, easygoing, easy to fish with. And his report, he was catching them on bandits, 30 to 36 feet of water, 40 to 70 feet back, unassisted on the planer boards. And his hot color was purple, anything with purple in it. And that happens sometime. But he did catch a real nice walleye. I think we have a picture of him holding up his walleye that he caught this year. That's Captain Andy with a dandy. And his season's just getting started. He's got dates open and everything. We'll look him up online. He's a great captain and really fun to fish with. Also, in the video you saw, that was one of my friends, Tim Wilcox. He sent me a report off of Cleveland, 38 to 45 feet of water. That's about where the boats were I saw out there off the back deck today. And they're using bandits and flicker minnows, 80 to 120 feet back. And the further back you put that lure, the deeper it's going to go. So the deep diving flicker minnows and the deep diving bandits, they'll go down 12 feet, 15 feet. If you put that snap weight on, they'll go down even further. So trolling is an art form. You have to learn how to do it. A lot of charter captains will teach you and show you how to set your lines and how to troll and how it works. But next, we're going to head southeast to Berlin Lake, which is, there it is, Mahoning, Stark, and Portage County. And there is everything swimming in this lake. It's a great place to fish. It's a great place to camp. There's a state park there. It's really, really beautiful. Smallmouth and largemouth bass, walleye, muskie, catfish, and panfish. This report comes from local angler Bryce Fisher, and he has a YouTube channel called Fisher Bassin on TV, on YouTube, and he has lots of different videos catching bass, crappies, and smallmouth, and all sorts of stuff. This week, he sent a crappie fishing report because they are really biting at Berlin. He says he went out with the idea the fish would be shallow, and he was dipping the willows and caught some really nice crappies. Water temperatures were 61 to 64. He's using a Sam Super Sensitive rod with cast crazy crappie line and a 1/8 ounce jig head tipped with a crap slap cicada. That's a kind of soft plastic. And again, they come up with these wild names, but he caught some really nice fish. He fishes out of a kayak sometimes. He's got a boat. He's a really good fisherman, fishes local tournaments, and really nice guy, great to talk with, very knowledgeable. And check out his YouTube channel. He said all the crappies he caught were 11 to 13 inches. That is a crap slap cicada by Cast Cray. Awesome lure. You can cut that back part, the flat part, in half, so it has 2 tails that sort of ripple in the water and really gets those fish to bite. And I said they're catching walleyes too in the willows, not just crappies. You might get some walleye. They're catching 2 to 4 inch grubs on 16th ounce jig heads. The twister tails, they're doing really good. Largemouth bass on rocky points, football head jigs with plastic trailers, Texas rigged worms, Senkos, wacky rigged. And I'm going to show you this next week. I'm bringing in some plastics, and we're going to have a good time. Wait, that didn't come out right. But anyway, the work in progress, guys. Now let's head west to the southern part of Summit County to Nimisilla Reservoir. This lake is an electric-only lake. It's part of the Summit Metro Parks. They take care of it. It is a bass factory. They have panfish, big bluegills, crappies. I love fishing Nimisilla. The fish are awesome there. It's a really beautiful lake. Bald eagles nest there, ospreys nest there. There's all sorts of stuff to see. Lots of shore access. And there are 4 boat ramps and a kayak and canoe launch. So, but remember, electric only. You have to keep your motors up out of the water. But the bass there, this report, largemouth bass are on fire. Kevin Miller sent this in. That's one of his sons. They've been catching bass on lipless crankbaits and 6-inch white paddle tails. And the bite is really good right at dark and heading about 10 o'clock. You can see those big bass. Caught some nice fish. So he always has competitions with his sons, and it's fun to see the pictures. And thanks for sharing with us. You see, they have a good time out there, as you can see, those crazy guys. But thanks, Kevin. Appreciate your report, and catch a bunch. Swim baits on shad color, too. I saw lots of guys fishing out there last weekend. I stopped by, did a little shore fishing. Didn't do too good, but I'll show you what I caught later. Next, let's talk about the Medina Park District. And there's their website, and lots of beautiful parks in Medina, well taken care of. They stock some of their lakes with fish, and if you go to the search bar and search fishing, it'll go to their events page. And on that events page, it is an what's that document called again? PDF file. That's it. And if you scroll down, it'll go activities. You scroll down 3 pages. It says fishing opportunities and lists all the lakes you can fish. Chippewa Lake is in this park district. It is an awesome fishery. They stock that with walleyes. There's crappies. There's big bluegills, catfish. It is an awesome, awesome fishery. And some of the smaller lakes, they're farm ponds that are loaded with big fish, and they're waiting to be caught. Check the rules, though. Some of their lakes are catch and release, and you need fishing licenses if you're over 16. Get your fishing license. And we'll talk about that next week, too. Very important. You don't want to get caught without a fishing license. That's Medina. I'm checking my notes. I got to do that because, this is new to me, too. Work in progress. I know I've said that 1,000 times. But something very special. I want to give a shout-out to Dennis James Knowles, who caught a monster bass. Sent me a picture. I saw it. I had to share it with you. He was fishing at not Clear Fork. He was fishing at, where's my note? Yeah, Clear Fork Reservoir down near Mansfield. He was pre-fishing for a tournament and caught this giant of a bass. She was up spawning. You can see her tail is all messed up and red and frayed. That's from fanning the bed to where she's going to lay her eggs. She's full of eggs. That bass was 7.4 pounds. I mean, that's all. That thing has a belly like me. It's huge, huge fish, and that's what you're going for. In Ohio, bass that size are, fish of a lifetime. Great fish, Dennis. And Dennis is a really cool guy. He started a foundation called the Fishing Foundation. It's a nonprofit, and he teaches people how to fish. Beginners, simple, how to get started, where to go. There's his website. It's thefishingfoundation.org. And he actually wrote a book. It's called Learn to Fish, a step-by-step guide for beginning anglers. And I know Dennis caught that bass. I caught a bass at Nimisilla when I was fishing, but this is my bass. And I think I need to throw it back. So there you go. Anyway, the swim fish. I think that was a pretty good report. We got all over the place from Lake Erie all the way down to Mahoning County and Carroll County and Stark County and Summit County. And next week, I know last week I said something about mosquito, and it just got to be too much this week. So next week I'm going to have a report on mosquito. It's a big lake with lots of different species in it, and they're all biting: bass, crappies, walleye, and I think I'm going fishing there this weekend. So I'll be on the water. I'll have some pictures and some video, and I don't know where else. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to change it up a little bit. Instead of doing all lakes next week, I'm throwing a river in. Now, I think I'm going to do the Cuyahoga, because that's where I grew up fishing. I grew up in Cuyahoga Falls, and my first fish I ever caught was in the Cuyahoga River. And I'd never forget it. I think I was like 5 years old and fishing with my dad. That's how a lot of people get started. But if you don't, if you have a neighbor kid, get permission, take him and his mom out fishing. Get involved in it. It's a great sport. It's great fun, and you can do as little or as much as you want. If you want to buy a $150,000 boat, go for it, man. You can't take it with you. But I guarantee you, it'll make memories, make you very happy, and you'll have a lot of friends if you have a boat. I'm friends with a lot of people who have boats, which is a good thing. But next week, we'll get into all that stuff, and I'm going to end it with this. Take a kid fishing, and always wear your PFD. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. See you next week.